Everybody, how are you? Hope you're doing well at home. It's my 4 o'clock-ish, 4:30 here in the London time to go live with a cup of tea. So cheers to everybody at home. How you doing? I'm carrying on my story today that I've been telling this week, and where was I going with that? Who knows? Quite a few friends actually have said it's nice to hear the story because lots of people don't know it. They know what I do now, but they don't necessarily how I've got here. So yesterday I talked about how I'd worked in ski resorts, and I talked about also some penny drop moments in Africa. And it did get me thinking about what it might like to be in mountain communities at the moment with the lockdown, and how they're coping. Because, obviously I worked in mountain communities, both summer and winter for a number of years in the French Alps. And I went and did that because I love mountains, I love skiing, I love being in the great outdoors. This was in the mid-90s that I did this after university. I spoke French, so I wanted to go and spend some time living and working in France. And because I was a skier, I did that in a ski resort. And I was a resort manager for a UK tour operator. And so I was in charge of the reps and the chalets and the nannies and all the logistics and all the accounts and everything like that. And it was extremely hard work, and never stopped really. And we had a lot of fun too, obviously. So we might have been doing by day ski escorting, and by nights we would have bar crawls and restaurant meals and quizzes and all that kind of thing, which was very much part and parcel of the guest experience. But I do look back now and I think what an impact on the communities that it was, because those little original village communities in mountains really didn't have anything else much to survive on, apart from it would have been subsistence agriculture historically. And then tourism arrives, and literally, you either join in the tourism or you ship out, basically, because otherwise your world is overwhelmed for months on end with just small shoulder periods in between seasons where you get a bit of peace and quiet. And tourism creates waste, and it creates noise, and it creates environmental impacts. And obviously with global warming now as well, we see other environmental impacts. And, I look back, one of the things I always remember, I look back, one particular day I was skiing and I knew the slope so well. And there was a particular bit of ridge that just looked really funny. And I kept looking at it and it looked odd. It sort of, I don't know, I can't even explain the way the rocks had sort of fallen, and sort of almost granite was like spewing out. And I always remembered it. And it wasn't until years later, and probably not many years ago, I actually learned that it was probably the first signs of permafrost for defrosting. So, this is the impact of global warming. And I look back at those times. They were great times for me, great fun. But they did have an influence now in working in sustainable tourism, thinking about the impact of tourism on communities and the impact of tourism on environments. And so, we know so much more now about tourism and how to make it sustainable. And up until now, this juggernaut of this industry hasn't been stopped. And now it's stopping, or it's having to stop because of coronavirus. So, in my mind, it's a really great opportunity to rethink tourism, rethink the travel industry. There's some brilliant, more sustainable operations out there, and they struggle to cut through the mass market. So, now's the time to do it. And I really hope when you think about traveling again, you can think about doing it more sustainably. So that's my little story today, and I'll speak to you next week. Take care. Bye.